noma ibhubezi elimhlophe lithi mabhonga kunyaka zindaba kuduma amazulu khala amalwandle khanya pa amario siyamothala wanuka kamakhatla wa yona ugatyeni ndondela mamali inkomo zibomvu kanye nenkunzi yazo chubungu mwila munyayi mukaranga muchirambuzi mutabatsindi. That is me, ndimloyo. All right, yeah. This is wow, this is a very important message that I need to deliver. It has been on my mind over the few days, um, and I just felt, I need to make a video. This is a message to Inkosi nenkosikazi Africa. This is a message to all the kings and queens. Inkosi nendlovukazi kahle kahle. Ikumkani neykumkanikazi. Dikhosi le dikhosigadi. I pray that it reaches someone of a high stature, because I feel, in fact, I pray it reaches as many people as possible, because this message is for everyone, actually. But I want to direct this message to the kings and the queens, people in the high places. In the coming years, in the coming 5 to 10 years, we are going to experience what has never been seen in the way that it's going to happen for a very long time. This has never happened in a very long time in the way that it's going to happen. We are going to experience a global economic shutdown. There's going to be some form of global economic shutdown. By that I mean the value of money would at that point be so minuscule, so volatile, so uncontrollable that it would almost mean nothing to have money. So, with that happening in the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to cause a lot of people in South Africa and the world to resort to extreme measures. People won't be able to keep up with their bonds. People won't be able to keep up with their rent. People won't be able to pay their cars. People won't be able to sustain their lives wherever they stay. People won't be able to function as a society without money. So I say and I plead to all the kings of Africa, particularly here in South Africa, to please initiate the concept of reverse migration. We need to go back emakaya, because what is happening now, there is a reverse reaction towards land reclaiming, right? In a few years, homelands are going to have such a high value that it's going to be a shame if you don't have land there, because it's going to get there. In the next plus minus 10 to 15 years, we're talking just under 20 years. That's not a long time. Our people need to go back home. This will ensure that our property, our land increases in value. We need to go back home with all the skills and expertise that we have received here from the Western uh, economy. We need to unplug from the entire system in some ways, and we need to re-establish our economies and institutions in the image of Africa. This will be very important if our interest is to preserve our ancestors' ways and our ancestors' land, because we hear the story of there's too many people, or not enough land, but that's not true. That is per area. Too many people per area. Well, the world can never be overpopulated. It's just almost impossible. So the solution to this, the overall solution to South Africa reclaiming its identity, it's to go back home. It's gonna take bravery. It's gonna take guts. It's gonna take a lot of time and effort. But once we have successfully done this, once we have our kings in the forefront influencing this, sending the message out, however way, I understand that kings um, may not it may not be interested in speaking publicly. Maybe they would have to send ibhunga labo, ibhunga lamakhosi, the royal council, to speak for them in the public domain. That would be lovely. If it means that's the case, if it means we spread the word through social media that there is hope and there is potential revival of Africa. And I'm speaking to all the kings of South Africa. I know some kings are thinking of this. I know the Royal Council have discussing this and probably in a deeper, in-depth nature. So I just feel like because I don't know if that's the case. I just feel like this is what we need as South Africa because it has been it has been centuries that we have been infiltrated. So much so that we were almost swept off our feet. But thanks to the grace of God and thanks to the grace of our guides and ancestors, they have started to come back to us. And they need us to do this. They want us to unplug from the system. They know we can. That's why already you are finding people with different gifts, political gifts, gifts to be leaders. That's why you're finding a lot of people are just awakening. A lot of people are initiating. It's not because it's a no. It's not a fun and games thing. It's because the ancestors are back, and they are here to help us rebuild the nation that they lost. You understand? Because this is the only time after so long that we have the freedom to freely do whatever we want to do. This is the only time in history where you can speak to the whole world through social media. Let us not underestimate that. So, hence, you will see what's happening now. They want to rebuild Africa. When you go to China, you see that you are in China because of the infrastructure. When you go to India, you see the same thing. You are in India because of the infrastructure. You go wherever in the world where the indigenous people are found and are in central control of the area, you will find that there is indigenous architecture and style. This should be the same for Africa. When people come to Africa, they must see the evolved versions of homes that we build, dome-like homes that we used to build. We can make it evolved. We can evolve the idea. We don't have to use the same materials, but the same idea. There's a reason why we built our houses round. There is a reason why we built our houses round. Well, I'll just touch a little bit on that. This is because there is no straight lines in nature. You understand? That's one of the reasons. There is no straight lines in nature. Things take shape, but you do find circles in nature. It's all because of sacred geometry. But anyway, yes. So Africa needs to come together. We need to sell our properties. I'm sorry to say this. Sell our properties here in towns and everything. Reinvest the money, Emakaya. Do you understand how much you can do with plus minus 200,000? Let's just say minimum, which is really minimum. You can do a lot in terms of land is cheap. Sometimes you don't even have to buy it. Oh, then you have like plus minus 180. Okay, with all these acres. What do? Well, it's up to you. You buy cows, you start planting seeds. Okay, you think you're not going to be able to plow the whole land by yourself? Okay, then you hire someone. You see, the economy starts. And now imagine a lot of us do this. All of us do this. This is what they don't want us to talk about. This is what they don't want us to talk about. So, to conclude this, I say to all the people of South Africa that will hear this message, to all the kings and queens in high places that have the ability to do something about this. This message is only to ignite that fire if it had not already been ignited. If it has already been ignited, this message will only serve as emphasis. When we talk, ngiyabonga for listening. I pray that one day Africa will see